Hello, good afternoon students. Happy New Year to you all. So, let me tell you, myself Rajesh Dadich, your mentor in English from Shivjyoti Educational Group, Kota. Right? So today we are going to revise your poetry section of your main course book, and that is Flamingo. So, we are going to start your poetry section. So, we are going to revise, right? So, in this way, everything will be refreshed for you and you may be able to give your better performance in your board exams, right? So, have a look at the screen. So, these 4 poems we are going to discuss, right? My Mother at 66, an elementary school classroom in a slum, a thing of beauty, and Jennifer's tigers. Right, students? So, these we are going to discuss today. Are you ready for that? Right. To begin with, first poem of your book, Flamingo, in poetry section, and that is My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das. Have a look at the screen. Right? My Mother at 66 by Kamla Das. This poem was composed by a Keralite poetess of India, and that is Kamla Das, right? This is really a touching poem written by Indian poet Kamla Das, who wrote under the pen name of Madhavi Kutty, right, students? In this poem, Kamla Das describes her feeling of love and attachment towards her aging mother. Students, we people, when we are grown up, it becomes our duty to look after our parents who are growing older or who have already grown older, because earlier in our childhood they took care of us. So now it's our duty to take utmost care of our older parents, right? So in this poem, Kamla Das has delineated her love and attachment towards her aging parents because they need us, right? Now the poem begins. Once the poet, after her visit to her mother, is on her way back, means she is going back to her in-laws. So she is going to the airport to return to Cochin. In Cochin, her in-laws are there, right? So she is on her way in a car, right? She looks at her mother in the car when she happens to, means they both are sitting on 2 window sides and they both are sitting at the back, and when Kamla Das happens to have a look at her mother who is sitting beside her in the car, what she finds? Generally it's a common phenomena that older people just falls asleep or they start dozing as the vehicle starts. Her mother with open mouth has dozed off to sleep and her aging face looks smoky in color like ash. She resembles a dead body. So in this poem, simile is there, means her old mother's face has been compared with that of a dead body, corpse, means, and second simile is when her mother's face is compared to the late winter's moon, right? So the poet realizes that her mother has grown old and feels pain and sympathy for her. Obviously, when she finds her, it pains her, means she now comes to know that her mother has grown much older and any time she may leave this world. So she is feeling painful, feels pain and sympathy for her, right? Her wrinkled skin is there, an ashen like face is there, glowless like late winter's moon. Her face is there. She has already lost glow on her face. Her face has grown pale, right? So the poet realizes that her mother has grown old and feels pain and sympathy for her. Being old, she needs love, affection and care, right, students? In order to come out of the gloom, she is now upset, right? So she wants to shade off this gloom from her mind. So she starts looking at other side, means she starts looking out of the window of the car, right? In order to come out of the gloom, the poet, means Kamla Das, shifts her glance and looks out of the car's window. Here 2 scenes are there, students. Inside the car, static life is there. right? Static means motionless, meaningless, without any interest, dull, boring life means old age students, without motion. Old people are not at all enthusiastic. They have lost all their interest in life. Their face, their skin is glowless, right? But on the other hand, means on the contrary to this, when she looks out of the window, she finds something different, means something different life, full of energy, full of happiness, enthusiasm, zeal, and that is in children. Children are full of energy, but her mother has lost all her energy being old, right? So there she sees young trees pass by. It is symbolism of growth, right? Means when we are passing by, when we are heading somewhere, we leave things behind. Means in our practical life, we are leaving things in our life behind and we are growing nearer to a destination. In this way, trees have been shown pass by. Little children running out of their houses means little children are the sources of strength. They are the symbols of strength. Images have been used, right students? These things are contrary to the aging face of a mother. They symbolize energy, life and happiness. So if you have been asked a question that this poem is full of symbolism, discuss. So you have to write, this is true that this poem is full of symbolism and these symbols are energy, life and happiness. Old age is devoid of energy, that is coming to end the life, and happiness is nowhere to be seen in old people's life. So in this way, different symbols have been used, right? As they reach the airport, the poet is about to leave for the airplane. After all formalities, official formalities, she is going to board, but all of a sudden she glances at her mother who is outside and she is expecting something. So, and the poet Kamla Das also wants to say something, but somehow her throat gets choked and she doesn't feel like speaking, or maybe she is not able to say anything. She is not able to utter even a single word, but only gestures she uses, and in this way she makes a gesture at her mother. She wanted to say, but only a few words came out of her mouth, and they were, see you soon amma. These are not merely words, but they signify a lot, and that is positivity in our life. Once we are positive, things become easier and smoother to us, right? The poet feels the pain and fear of losing a mother. She is reminded of her childhood when she used to fear losing a mother even for a few moments. At this juncture, the poetess is naturally reminded of her old means childhood fear, when she used to think that one day my parents would grow old and they would leave me all alone. So this kind of fear was striking her once again. The poet doesn't express her feelings because she did not want to disturb her mother, and she just wanted to infuse the feelings of positivity into her mother also, that see you soon amma means once again we will be able to see, and that is very soon that moment will come again. And in a smiling way she said see you soon amma, because she wants that her mother should live and they can meet again. So students, this is the gist, this is the conclusion of the poem, that one must be positive. One must be positive in one's life. Okay students, so I hope you might have got this poem. So now we are going to switch to next poem, right? Have a look. Next poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, and this poem was composed by a great and renowned poet of his time, and his name is Stephen Spandau, right? Natural problems, practical life always always full of practical problems. So this kind of problems have been exquisitely discussed in this poem. Have a look. The poem is full of these problems. So these have been delineated in a very nice manner. They have been delineated by Stephen Spandau. Have a look. we are going to discuss the scene of a classroom, right? These schools are not full of facilities, modern facilities and amenities are there. Right now we are going to discuss the problems the students of these schools face, right? What kind of atmosphere is there? Are they really interested in remaining in those schools? Do they really get education what they expect? Do the students regularly go to these schools? So many questions are there to discuss, right? So have a look. The poet Stephen Spander described the communal inequalities which are usual in this society. Means this society is full of inequalities. No matter on paper, all are equal, but in practice, this is not there. Inequality has been described in this poem, right? And this inequality is between the rich and the poor, these two main classes of our society, right? The poet Stephen Spander described the situation of the students of an elementary school located in a slum. A slum area means underdeveloped or undeveloped area is there, right? In that area, a school is there, an elementary basic school, just like primary school is there, right students? The appearance of the students shows that they are unwelcome. You know, government school is there, so generally teachers are also not paying much attention as they expected, right? Maybe they are not regular if they go to school. If they do go to school, then they don't feel like teaching, or maybe so many drawbacks are there. But here, according to this poem, the appearance of the students shows that they are unwelcome. Means they also know that it makes no difference whether we go to school or not, whether we happen to be in school or not. That's why the kids are having depressed facial expressions. Means they don't have those glowing faces, means expectant faces they do not have, right? They have unhealthy bodies. Malnutrition is there, they are undernourished. That's why, because they are poor people are generally devoid of nutrients, basic nutrients of a balanced diet, right? So they look unhealthy bodies they have got, and this they have got from their parents' inheritance, right? They have inherited from their parents. As their parents, so are they, right? At the end of the classroom, a kid is sitting having bright eyes that fill with dreams. At the end of the classroom, we find that an unnoticed child is sitting and he is looking somewhere, or it seems that he is engrossed somewhere in his own dreams, or he is lost somewhere in his own dreams. That's why he is looking out of the window and he finds that a squirrel is playing a game, a kind of game. The squirrel is moving here and there, sometimes up the tree, sometimes down the tree. So the child is lost looking at this squirrel, and the activities made by, all the movements made by this squirrel look like a kind of game, and this game looks strange to this child. That's why this child is lost in his own dreams, right? At the back of the dim classroom means it has no electricity. That's why natural light is there. Whatever the natural light outside is there, that is coming through the windows. Windows, this word is very much important, students. We'll discuss later, right? At the back of the dim classroom, one unnoted, sweet and young child looks lost in a dream of squirrel's game in tree room. Other than this means this classroom is the room of the child and that tree is the room of the squirrel, right? Classroom walls look off-white with donors' names being displayed. Means only once this classroom, the walls of this classroom had been painted when these rooms were constructed, but since then they have never been repainted. That's why they have got dull color is there, off-white color is there, creamy shade is there, and some stingy smell is there, musky smell is there, because no proper ventilation, cross ventilations are not there. Windows are open but cross ventilation is not there, electricity is not there. That's why only a little bit natural light is there, and donors' names have been displayed on the walls, right? A poster is there of Shakespeare. Shakespeare means faces, posters of different big people, means celebrities have been displayed over there, but they have got nothing to do with children, or children have got nothing to do with these faces, because the children have not been taught whose faces they are. For example, Shakespeare's face is there, but the children in the classroom, a few children are there, but they do not know, right? His head is bald and looks like the rising sun, right? Because it is shining. That's why this is looking like a rising sun, means Shakespeare was the source of great knowledge, as the rising sun is the symbol of knowledge, right? But these children do not know who this person is. The second poster is of the Tireless Valley, means a good place, and this is known as a flowery. This valley is known as the valley of flowers, but these children do not know anything about that, because in their geography also they have never been taught like this. Further, another one is a world map, but for these students the world is not as they see in the picture, means world map has been displayed on one of the walls, but these children do not know what these world maps are used and in what way they are useful, right? They serve no purpose for these children, because they do not know how to read this map, right? For these students, the world is the scene that they see outside of the classroom through the window, means they think that this is just a poster of natural scene, right? As the natural scene, they look out of the classroom window, nothing more than that they know about the map, right? Actually, these maps may serve so many purposes, they may give out so much information to these children, but these children must know how to read these maps, and this is to be done by the teachers, right? These children are stuck in the slums, they have no hopes, no prospects are there, right? They have dim and hopeless futures, they have no bright future, because nobody bothers to teach them, or maybe this kind of facilities are not available, are not within their reach. They all have a dark and depressing future. This is a satirical poem, right, students? A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. Lead is a dull substance, right? Is far away from rivers, means their lives have been compared to lead, which is glowless. So their lives are also glowless, means hopeless. No hope is there in their lives, and these children are away from rivers, capes and stars of words. They do not know how to read books, they do not know geography, they do not know the names of rivers, they do not know anything, any geographical reasons, right? Precipitation, rivers, oceans, lakes, they know nothing. They know only one thing, and maybe they have a pond in their village, so only that source of water they know about that, nothing more than that. So these have no purpose for them. Surely Shakespeare is wicked, means useless for them. Shakespeare was not wicked, actually it means this Shakespeare's poster serves no purpose for them, because they know nothing about him, right? The map is a bad example with ships and sun. The map can tell you the location of physical map, political map. They give so much information to us, but these students do not know how to read maps. That's why these maps are useless for them. They know nothing about ships, they know nothing about sun as the natural source of light or source of natural light, right? The want for love forces them to do crimes like robbery, etc. These children also need love and care like the city people, like the city children. Children are children everywhere, students. Everywhere children remain children. But they also, the common thing is, children be it village, children be it in city. But they all need love, care, affection from us, right? So for want of love, they need love. Somebody tell them this is love, this is affection, but they do not get, then they will be asking where this love is available, where this love is to be found. So somebody tell city, but they do not they cannot manage to go to city areas. So for that purpose, they may fall victims to some crimes like robbery, burglary, right? They may become some criminals, like they may go to wrong ways of society, right? The children are so thin. I told you they are undernourished. That's why they are so thin that their bones and skeleton are clearly visible through them. They are wearing torn cloths, and out of these cloths, their body is as thin as a rail, right? So bag of bones they look like. So that is visible. This is because of the lack of nourishment. They are undernourished. Proper balanced diet they are not getting, right? Their probabilities of accomplishing their dreams and wants and moving out of this poverty have been further reduced by building bigger shanty towns around their villages. So many towns have been built and have been created and have been constructed, and long buildings are there. Some billboards are there, display boards are there, advertisements are there. So they all attract these children, and ultimately they fall victim to some crimes because they do not have any resources, right, students? So the poet wants everybody's attention to these children. Now in the last stanza, the poet makes an appeal, makes a common appeal to all of us, especially to governmental authorities, to the people concerned, to take care of these children also, because they are also the part of this country, of this nation, right? They do have natural rights. Until and unless they come out of the slums, they will never get to know about the world outside. They do not know. They know only one world, and that is whatever they see in their village while coming and going to school, coming from home and going to home, to and fro. Whenever they are moving about, they know whatever the surrounding they find, this is world for them. But they do not know that one more beautiful, one more world is still waiting for them, but they cannot get access to that so-called beautiful world. So for that purpose, the poet makes an appeal to the governmental authorities to bother to come to these villages and to have a look at these children, how they are living. In this way, maybe they can get proper development, right? The poet also appeals authorities for permitting these poor kids to go out of these slums, and in this way they will come nearer the cities, and then only they will come to know that city areas, city culture, city lifestyle is this and that. Moreover, they should be taken to areas with fields and greenery. I told you different parts are there. Forests are there, green jungles, green forests are there, mountains are there, plains are there, right? Desert areas are there. So they are natural parts of this globe, of this earth, right? So they must know. The poet also appeals to the authorities for permitting, right? Moreover, they should be taken to areas with fields and greenery, the sunny atmosphere and the warm sand of the beach. I told you, sand is found at two places, right, students? One is desert area and second one is beach side. So in beach side, they must know this type of atmosphere is there, very beautiful, right? Full of excitement and enthralling scene is there, and at the desert also golden sand is there, right? So that is also part of our natural surrounding. The sunny atmosphere, the warm sand of the beach will connect them with the hunger for knowledge. In this way, they will come to know this is ocean, this is sea, this is lake, this is river, this is cape, this is stream, this is channel. In this way, they will be able to mark their significant existence like city people. Like city people, they will also be able to mark their presence, mark their existence on the surface of this earth, that they are also an integral part of this whole world, of this mankind, right? They also have natural rights to live and grow, and will be therefore able to create the history of their own like sun. As the sun is able to make its own history by giving light to the mankind. Light in two perceptions are there. One source of light, light is coming to us. In physics also you might have studied, and one light is there as the symbol of knowledge. So as the sun makes his own history by giving knowledge, so these people will also be able to make their own history. History is theirs, whose sun is there, right? So in this way these people will also be able to mark their existence worthful. Life will be there for them. So in this way, students, this poem is complete, and I hope you all might have got this poem. So see you some other time with different poem, different topic. Till then, have a nice time. Thank you.